G'day, I'm Dylan, and this might just be the lightweight adventure bike that you've been waiting for. Is it better than the Royal Enfield Himalayan and the CFMOTO 450 MT? Is it genuinely capable in off-road terrain? And how important is this model for KTM given its most recent financial struggles? In this video, we're going to answer all those questions and more. Let's get to it. The KTM 390 Adventure R is an evolution of the original 390 Adventure that debuted back in 2020, and it joins the 390 Enduro R and the 390 Adventure X models as part of KTM's new dual sport and travel range. The 390 Adventure R is built in India by Bajaj Auto and lands down under with a fairly reasonable price tag just north of $11,000 right away. That price does place it a little above the Hemi and the 450 MT, but more on those two a little later. The original 390 Adventure was a great bike. It was lightweight, it was agile, great for learners, and of course, super cheap. But if there was one problem with it, it's that it didn't really have genuine off-road credibility. But the R version changes all that. You've now got WP Apex suspension, front and rear, with 230 mils of travel and fully adjustable. You've got a nice upright rally stance with a rally-style tower. You've got 21 and 18-inch wheels, and of course, some dirt-friendly tyres. But for this particular launch, we had a more aggressive rubber from Midas, just for those tricky off-road scenarios. Under the hood, the 390 Adventure R is powered by the same 399cc single-cylinder motor that debuted in the updated 390 Duke in early 2024, and is coupled with a 6-speed transmission. Elsewhere, you can count on Brembo-approved bi-bree brakes, a 14-litre fuel tank, LED lights, and a tall windshield, handguards, and a bash plate, all fitted at standard. Another big draw card for this bike is the tech, which I've got to say is probably class lead-in. You've got a really nice TFT display, which is very similar to this bike's bigger brothers in the KTM Adventure range. And more importantly, you've got 3 customizable rider modes, including a dedicated off-road mode. And I've got to say that the system is overall very easy and simple to use, maybe even more so than some of the bigger KTM models. The 390R also comes with switchable ABS and traction control, both of which are cornering optimized, and each setting, including throttle response, can be adjusted individually within the ride modes. Best of all, the ABS and traction control settings are maintained even when the bike is off. That means the electronics won't default to road settings each time you start, which of course is a usual frustration for many riders. So what else do you need to know about the 390 Adventure R? Well, there's a long list of options, including things like cruise control, quick shifter, aftermarket exhausts, and of course off-road tyres. And a lot of the accessories from the original 390 Adventure are also transferable. Maintenance should be pretty simple with easy air filter access, and the 14-litre tank should get you about 250 kilometres. Now, as I alluded to earlier, the 390R's biggest competitors will probably be the CFMOTO and the Royal Enfield, which were both huge sellers in 2024. And on paper at least, it's a very interesting comparison. Both the Hemi and the MT are cheaper than the 390 Adventure R, but the Kato adds cornering ABS and cornering traction control and offers far more customization and adjustability. The suspension is also spec'd higher with more travel and more adjustability, and the ergonomics are better suited to off-road use. We'll save a detailed comparison for another time, but based on the information I've just mentioned, I'd put the Kato just ahead of its rivals. Out in the real world is where the benefits of the 390 Adventure R really become apparent. In many ways, it's more of an old-school trail bike with a rally tower than a true adventure bike, but multi-day touring should be no sweat either. The biggest benefit is the WP suspension, which is a massive improvement over the old 390 Adventure. It offers up a nice predictable progression through the stroke, and it honestly feels ready for any terrain. At 165 kilograms before fuel, the Adventure R is light enough to tackle challenging terrains easily, but solid and planted enough to be fairly comfortable on long tarmac stretches. It's nimble, agile and flickable, and its ride position lends well to both seated and standing positions. The engine might feel a tad underpowered to experienced riders, but if you keep the revs in the middle of the range, the 399 single can be surprisingly lively. Perhaps the only real downside was that there were a few cosmetic components that were rattling and shaking after 3 days of hard riding, but we're hopeful that these will be ironed out by the time the bikes reach customers. The next question is, how important is this model for KTM given its recent financial turmoil and reliability issues? Well, only KTM can answer that, but there's no doubt it'll be hoping for good sales and minimal technical trouble. And early signs are that it has the price point and the package to meet both of those goals. So there you have it, KTM 390 Adventure R. This bike has been a long time coming, but I've got to say it was well worth the wait. It's an absolute beast off-road, and I can't wait to compare it to other bikes in the segment.